G'day and welcome to another big edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show. Thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Mitch, the Operations Manager of the MCDFNL. Thanks for joining us, mate. We've got a couple of weeks to go. We're at the penultimate round and anything can happen over the next few weeks.
Yeah, still plenty to play out at the moment, so yeah, don't miss any of it.
Oh, absolutely, mate. The first game we will talk up is Avoca and Harcourt. The Bulldogs a bit disappointing on the weekend. No doubt that they would have wanted to be more competitive in their outing, while Harcourt, they're coming off a stinging loss at the hands of Carisbrook. We know the last team to suffer at the hands of Carisbrook featured in the top four, which was Talbot. They took a little while to recover too, and I know a couple of other teams have sort of struggled too. So it's an important game here for Harcourt to see if they can get in some good form heading into the finals in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think Harcourt will be pretty disappointed with last week, but I think they're pretty likely to bounce back here. But who knows? I wouldn't count out Avoca.
Especially on the home turf.
Yeah, and they're fighting for that spot in the 8, so a bit of extra motivation might get them over the line. But if they somehow win this one and then manage to maybe beat Trentham as well next week, they'll make it. But I just don't see it happening. I think Harcourt's going to bounce back pretty strong here and get the points.
It is a very tough ask there for the Bulldogs, as you say. They need to. Basically, every the next few weeks are finals for them, and they need to make up a bit of percentage as well because the teams above them. There's only one game out and plus significant percentage, so they have to rely on a couple falling over and picking up a few percentage points themselves. But they've got some pretty tough ask coming up. Malden, the team that we declared earlier on the week, is potential finals bound. Now, mathematically, it's still a chance. They do take on Denali, who were coming into this game a little bit wounded from that loss last week. How do you see this one unfolding?
Yeah, I'd back in Malden for a big win here. As they do their best to force themselves into finals, they need a massive percentage boost if they're going to get there. They're only on 88.7% at the moment and need a dramatic boost to be in contention. So they've got Campbell's Creek the next week as well. So who knows, they might be able to make a big difference, but I think it's probably just a bit too far back to make up that difference now.
It seems like Lexington is going to be the one that if Malden are to make finals, they're the ones that are going to be the bottom out from there, and they do have a pretty tough road on the way home. There's a percentage of nearly 38, so heavy losses and heavy wins are going to be the order. But Malden, they've played well throughout the year. They've certainly improved, but I don't think they've been as a high scoring side as say like a Talbot or Harcourt or some of the other teams like a Royal Park that have gone out and kicked you 30 plus goals in a game before. So for Malden, that's something they're going to need to do over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think they'll be sitting in the club rooms working out all the percentages and the figures that they need to get. But it just so happens that Malden's got the 2 bottom sides the next 2 weeks. Lexington's got the 2 top sides. So who knows? It could be a bit of a swap there, but I wouldn't be counting Lexington in those 2 games either. They might be able to scalp a win there and save their season.
Well, speaking of Lexington, they do travel to Carisbrook on the weekend, and the Redbacks are in some great form. And this could be the game where I don't know, Ash Minari, I think he's only about 10 goals or so off cracking the ton. This could be the game where he might be able to do it if he gets off the leash. Yeah,
it could be, and as we said, Lexington will need to focus on limiting the damage here as much as they can. They have a healthy percentage, but a lot can change in a couple of games, so who knows. They've got Natty next week, so they need to fight hard, but Carisbrook, after a massive win last week, I don't see them stopping at the moment.
Yep, I'm with you on that one, mate. Talbot and Royal Park, this is going to be a cracking contest between 2 sides in the 8. Talbot will be looking to really cement that place in the top 4, but sort of going with some form over the next couple of weeks.
Yep, look, Talbot, top 4 for a reason. I think they'll probably get a big win here, but Royal Park, almost lucky in a sense because they've got Denali and Campbell's Creek twice for the season. So I feel like a finals finish for them is pretty likely, but yeah, I just think Talbot's going to get the points here and pretty comfortably.
I think the key thing for them is they do have Denali in that final round, and we can't see an upset happening there, so it's they'll be as safe as houses in a sense. So they'll probably look to go with a bit of touch. Navarre and Maryborough Rovers. Navarre will look to bounce back after that tough loss to the Bombers last week, while the Rovers, they're just starting to click into gear, as you highlighted earlier on the week. Some injuries have played a part in their decline of form, but the Grasshoppers, they are a powerhouse side and they won't want to let this one slip.
Yeah, look, it was only 5 or so weeks ago when these 2 sides played last. Navarre winning by about 5 goals when they faced each other then. I can't see too much changing. I'd probably expect that to probably be the margin again. But yeah, the Rovers, that extra motivation could help them if they're fighting for that spot in the 8. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they managed to get up.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing with Navarre too was only a couple of weeks ago where we were saying, oh, look, there might be a chance to play top 4. We were talking up the possibility that if things go their way, that they certainly could do that. But now they've dropped the last 2, so they've got a bit of a losing streak on their hands here, and they're facing a Maryborough Rovers who can be quite unpredictable.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, they're not to take anything away from Malden last week, knocking over Navarre, of course. But, yeah, look, Navarre, they've got to get back into that form again if they want to make anything of this year. They're sitting at 6th at the moment, so I still think they can have an impact come finals, but it all starts this week.
Can Campbell's Creek beat Newstead this weekend?
Yeah, that's the question I was probably going to put to you as well.
Yeah.
And I think they might take some confidence, obviously from their win against Denali a couple of weeks ago. But and look, Newstead haven't had the best year here, but I still can't really see them losing this one. But look, who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I think Newstead, they played some pretty good footy against the Rovers last week to get within 50 points of a team that that was on the track to play finals just a couple of weeks ago and has been a notable heavy scoring side in the past. I think that'll give them that little bit of confidence as well, because that was one of their better scoring performances in recent times. So yeah, tough one there for the Creekers, but I think it should be an intriguing game nonetheless.
Yeah, and if they're going to get a second win, Newstead's the one they're going to get it against. And I think that said, I think Newstead are probably a better side than what the results have shown this year. They have only won the 2 games, but look, it's a bit of a danger game, and it wouldn't surprise me if Creek got close.
Now, the final game we'll have a look at, and I think this is going to be a very, very intriguing insight in how the finals might shape up. But we've got Trentham playing host to Natty B. Alba. We've got 2nd and 5th. The Saints have, I think they've won the last 3 or 4 games, or at least the last month of footy. They're looking pretty good at the moment, and the Swans have been ticking along nicely. What happens here?
Yeah, potentially a future finals match up here. They may come across each other in the finals. So, look, they played way back in round 6. It was Natty by just 9 points in that game there, so I expect another tight game.
That's when Natty were at their peak as well. They were really flying at that time of year.
Yeah, exactly right. And Trentham was sort of a bit up and down. That might have been one of their better games, I'd say, as well. But wouldn't be surprised if Trentham won, but I'm backing in Natty in this one.
I'm actually going to go the Saints on this one here. Just at a hunch. The way they played against Lexington on the weekend, they know how to play good, hard, contested footy, and this will be a good game and well worth watching for those who can get down there and watch it. But we're still trying to mathematically just piece together what actually happens in this round, and when we join everyone again next week, we'll have a better idea of how the top 8's shaping up. There's a very good chance that what we see at the moment may not change in the next week. Yeah,
that's right. A lot can change, and I think even next week, with the last game left, there's obviously still a lot to play out in the last round. We're not going to know what the top 8 is this time next week, but yeah, it's good. It's exciting for the competition, and all games count.
Certainly right. Well, thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. Thanks to you, Mitchy, for jumping on board. We look forward to catching up with you next week as we build up to the final round of the home and away season, and build to a nice, cracking finish to the year.
Thanks, Yeendy.